Hello everyone, and welcome to this latest edition of Conversation with the Superintendent. And joining me is Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens to talk a little bit about the questions that some of our employees have submitted for this month. Welcome, Dr. Hargens.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, first, the big question on everybody's mind is K-Prep. It will be here before we know it. Everybody had a great spring break, but now we're back and it's just about 3 weeks until we start K-Prep testing. What message do you have for students, for staff, and for our teachers who are getting ready for that final push?
Well, I've been in schools. I know how hard the teachers and students have worked and how hard school staffs have worked. So I think you have to think of K-Prep as a moment where you can demonstrate what you've worked hard at all year long and what you've learned all year long. And I know that one of our visions in Vision 2020 is to make sure that you've also had the opportunity throughout the year to demonstrate what you know in different ways. So if you think of this as just one more way to demonstrate what you've learned, I think that's what people need to put in perspective. But I appreciate the hard work of our students and of our teachers and staff, our school-based staff, and all the people here at Central Office that support that work, because it's all integral into having a successful year. And I'll have to say, I'm really grateful for the weather, that we didn't have disruptions in instruction in the weather. So you're right, came back from spring break, ready to go, and get ready for K-Prep.
My son in 6th grade says he's ready. So,
well, if he's ready, then
everyone's ready.
Everybody's ready, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Hargens, it was a very busy legislative session. That's what we spent a lot of time on from January until March. The bills coming out of Frankfurt, several of them that have potential impact on JCPS.
Mm-hmm.
2 of those have been signed into law by Governor Bevin, the first of those being the Charter Schools Bill and the second being Senate Bill 1. What would you like employees and staff to know about those 2 bills in particular and how they affect JCPS?
Well, and we're still looking at the implications of those bills, but as you said, they are law. And the Kentucky Department of Education did a wonderful webinar regarding the implications of the charter school bill, and they're doing one about Senate Bill 1. So we're going to push that information out to employees so that they understand. And regulations still have to be written. So I know the Kentucky Department of Education is working on regulations for those laws. So we will continue to push out information about them and implications.
But lots of changes for Senate Bill 1, from assessments to accountability, and so we'll be providing all of that information, as the state will, to employees.
One of the things is our voice was requested during that process, so I appreciate all the JCPS employees that participated in the process and had their voices be heard, because I think things get better when people lend their voice to it. And of course, with charter schools, our board really feels strongly about the authorization of charter schools and their role in that. So again, more to come, but we'll keep everybody updated.
You said importance of voice, and I think we really saw the importance of voice of staff and our JCPS families and our students when it comes to the neighborhood schools bill that was in Frankfurt this session. What do you think about the way that our staff, our students, our parents mobilized in order to help make their voices be heard in Frankfurt?
Well, that was really important for House Bill 151, because on the surface, without really studying it like we were able to, the driver was to make sure families that want to be closer to home can be closer to home. But it had unintended consequences. So when we studied it and when people actually looked at the maps, then they could actually say, well, this isn't what fits for me. And we know our parents and our families choose schools that meet the needs of their individual students. So they don't want to give up that ability to choose what's right for my son or daughter. And what we know is it's not always the closest school that is the one that's right for your son or daughter. So that was really important. And we are starting a student assignment review committee. It's time to start reviewing the student assignment plan. So it's going to be important, again, that all the voices are heard and that we incorporate what could make things better. So it's really a continuous improvement journey for student assignment. But your voice does matter, your opinion does matter, so I would say keep staying engaged in this process.
And we engaged Crosby parents a few months ago to talk about the issues that were at Crosby. Some parents felt that there were too many students that were being assigned to Crosby Middle School. We had a series of community meetings What grew out of those community meetings? We had some staff who had asked that question.
Well, we had a meeting at Crosby and then one at Bick Elementary for Crosby parents, and then I even met with students. So the idea was to say, okay, we've kept the enrollment down, but it's still crowded, so what's the best thing to do? And there were solutions from relocate the 6th graders and different things that were talked about. But what we heard overwhelmingly from people is we're making it work. We've done a lot of things to make it work, and we really don't want any quick changes. We want to make sure that we go into this school year and those students who think they're going to Crosby, who are going to Crosby, really have certainty regarding that. So what we heard overwhelmingly was we've adjusted around this, and we'd like a longer term solution. Not only for crowding for Crosby, but other schools. So there is a facilities committee that's meeting, and of course we talked about student assignment. So we'll be certainly looking at it and the number of middle school seats we need versus the need of middle school seats. So all those things are going to happen, but again, the students, the parents, staff members, everybody who contributed to that discussion really helped us understand that leave us alone for now and help us with a long-term solution for the future. So the resides are the people who expect to go to Crosby, and there's an optional program, so we're able to really not accept people outside of the resides, but it's really important if you're in that resides to have certainty that you'll be going to Crosby, and that's what our parents have.
And we were talking about the future and what the future holds for JCPS. The KDE audit, the management review audit, is going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. And I know that you said you wanted to have a chance to inform employees about what was going to be coming up, what that process would look like. And we received notification from KDE over spring break about what that process might look like. So I thought you might want to share with employees when that starts and about how long that will take.
Well, and I'll just remind everybody that it was in August that we had a management review. So in February, we heard that a full audit will happen. Now, we've been through lots of audits. We've answered lots of questions. So we're very familiar with an audit, but it will start next Tuesday. And the auditors will be here, or the team members will be here 4 days that week and then 5 days the next week. So as you said, over spring break or right before spring break, schools were notified directly if you're going to be a school that's going to be visited by the team of people. So again, it's an opportunity to show what we're doing, to show what we're working on to improve, but also to listen to an outside perspective about recommendations about how we can get better. So every audit that we've had, we have turned into an opportunity to make JCPS better for its students and its employees. So we expect that will happen with this audit as well.
Well, we might not have a chance to visit with employees except right before the end of the school year. So what would you like to say to employees to help finish out the rest of the school year strong?
Well, I've visited so many schools, and I'm so appreciative of the hard work and passion and commitment that all of our employees. So I know I've met fabulous bus drivers and fabulous plant operators and custodians and teachers and teacher assistants and support staff in school. And I know how hard they work and how important JCPS is to them. And if I could paint a picture to the world, to the outside world, if they would be able to meet the employees that I meet every day and talk with every day, they would understand what a great place JCPS is for students, and they couldn't have anybody that's more committed to students.
We are JCPS.
We are JCPS, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hargens. We appreciate it, and we'll see you back in the next couple of weeks for another edition of Conversations with Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens.